Welcome back, everybody. I am your host, Dwayne, the flyest nerd you know, and this is the Movie Dungeon. And today we got House of Dragons to talk about. So let's go ahead and get on into it. Starting off with the beautiful tapestry that it always does. I noticed, just like in previous seasons, if we get the tapestry first, we're gonna get some action. We're gonna get some fight. We're gonna get some blood. If we don't get the tapestry first and we get some bullshit, we get some dialogue or whatever, we probably not gonna have no action. That's what I've noticed. I don't know if it's been accurate. I've kind of picked it up every once in a while, but moving on. Speaking of that, Christian Koga's cat. That's crazy. And the reason why it's crazy because his ass wanted like a noble death and he thought he deserved one. That's the crazy part. You know, he's like, two of you guys should be fair. Slank, arrows. Shut up. And then the rest of his people were just murked. Which is kind of crazy because low-key Code did hell with his own. Like, they got set up. His people play dead and shit, and, they got him off guard. But Christian Code and his little whatever people he had left murked the fuck out of those little group that first time around. And for some reason, he thought that he deserved one being what kind of a jackass noble person he is, right? It was just funny. The music was great for it, so it played into my emotions just a tiny bit. I'm like, damn, here it is, and it really was. It was just immediate. We're moving on. We got Rhaenyra and Daemon still fucking up at King's Landing. They're trying to get it together, but they're fucking up. Let's just be real. Daemon's still dealing with the effects of his gold cloaks leaving his ass. Pretty much in this one they do, I believe. And the death of them last episode. That's what he's really dealing with in the beginning. But needless to say, he ends up getting more pissy once they take their gold cloaks off. Because of that, Rhaenyra has nobody to protect the city. And so that's driving her insane because now the people are a little more vulnerable to all these little crimes and shit going on within the walls. And so because of that, she needs a new army. Well, she needs an army. And so she sends for the Valerians to come on back and to protect the people. But they're taking quite a bit to get back. And we'll get into that in a little second. I did love a little moment when Hammer and Ulf were at Tumbleton outside, and you just see their dragons out there, Silverwing and Vermithor, and they did a little cuddle thing. I forget how much I love this show because of dragons. I was trying to say I love the politicking too, but listen, I'm a nerd. I love fantasy shit. I come from Lord of the Rings, you know what I mean? Dragons is what kind of sealed the deal and legitimately brought me into Game of Thrones, into everything. And I have a lot of snakes, and some of them are even named after these motherfucking dragons. So, it is what it is. But I did like that little moment, needless to say. We got Rhaenyra the crackhead. Rhaenyra, or whatever her fucking crackhead. Crackhead gets bitch slapped. For coming out her motherfucking hiding spot, fucking jeopardizing that one girl that says she can stay in there in the little Vale area. And then for Daemon, he might, his little lie that he said to his little bitch, that can all come to a halt if she ever shows her face, which she kind of, I guess the lady said she did to about a couple people in the town. But, she saw her sister and she wanted to see her. I ain't mad at her. I would be mad too, living in that fucking cave, even eating some nasty ass berries and smelling dragon fart. You know what I mean? But needless to say, her ass gets the crack slapped out of her. Speaking of her sister, I know this is in the book or whatever. I hated the fact she made out with Alan. I hated it. She seals the deal. She's a Targaryen. I'm sorry, Valerians weren't really doing this shit. I was like, yes, they're not gonna do it to the Valerians. Fuck yeah. Nope. And she put that shit right on top of motherfucking Alan. And I'm like, damn, bro. I'm like, didn't Jaehaerys just die? Like a couple weeks ago, bitch? Like, she didn't even wait. In my opinion, she probably didn't really love the dude, but why she ride a battle with him? Why is she going against the queen for him? You know what I mean? Since the queen's word is hurting her feelings right now and shit. Why the fuck? You know what I mean? So why are you jumping right onto somebody so fast? And I know in the book she was like known to kiss different people and all that shit and be a little that, but it's just like there was just no build up for this one particularly. This is a major one because you know they're both major characters, so it's just like it was just so uncalled for, and I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. But we did get some more scenes with Darren and his uncle and Orman. Yeah, back at Tumbleton, and to be honest, this is more bullshit, but this time it's Damon and his uncle. Darren and his uncle figuring out that Orman is a piece of shit and just wants Darren on the throne just because he could be close to it. We all know that, right on the wall. Simple, easy peasy, moving on. The moments we got with Alice and Eamon. Again, I like this better than the ones they were doing at Harrow Hall the other season, but him and her getting a little freaky deaky. I like this. A little evil couple thing going on right there. A little powerful evil couple. I like it. She definitely has what she wanted. You know, she has a high-powered person, you know, somebody who fought for her too. So, you know, now she can claim Harrenhal, and then she'll have a king by her side, a Targaryen. So, you know, she got what she got. And then he, you know, he's believing her tricks. You know, he got mommy issues. So any little girl older than his ass, okay, I do it. So yeah, that's that. That's him. And they got some dragon eggs, and a lot of people are gonna think that's Daenerys' dragons and Game of Thrones, and it just might be. But so far, these dragon crates that they've shown us have more eggs than what Daenerys found. So it's just been like, what the fuck's happening to the other ones, and yada yada yada. I don't think we've personally seen the crate. If we did, it's up in the air which one it is, to be honest. But I think my favorite moment of this episode right now is when Rhaenyra sits on the throne and she's hearing all the little common folks bitch and batch about what's going on in their daily lives, and some of it's actually pretty important. But she gets cut on the throne, and we know what that shit means. She gets cut on that throne. The throne don't want her to be set there no more. That bitch said, "Get the fuck up off of me." Yeah. So just like her father, hopefully she don't get an infection like her father, because that's what really killed him. But yeah, the throne pretty much rejected her, and by goodly so, because she's I don't think she's right. You know, we all rooted for her, right? But she's just to me, she's just failing so bad, and she's trying so hard to please her past, the present moment, and possibly what she's gonna have in the future. And it's too hard. She's doing it too hard, and a lot of shit is fucking up because of that. But what else? Fucking Elf gets slapped. Whatever. That dude gets slapped by Damon so many motherfucking times. So many more. I can't. Anyway, that's gonna happen. But yeah, then they get slapped. Damon has, you know, dressed up as a gold cloak to figure out who was trying to kill all his people. He ran into one dude who was like the guard for the high towers on the who opened the gate for Rhaenyra the first time. He was there. He didn't really open the gate, but he was there. But yeah, Damon gets a hold of him and, you know, threatens him up, stabs him up, and a little bit talks to him. Really gets no information about how many there is. It's just everybody you done bad, pretty much. Anybody who's been treated wrong in this town, in this city, they're possibly one of the killers. And at this point, like, you don't even know. You turn your block, killer. Turn your block, no killer. So, you know, that's fun. But that's fun. But yeah, so that's what he has to deal with, and then he runs into Elf and he bitch slaps him for being out of post, pretty much. Should even Hugh Halmer, when he was out of post too, and they all ditching their posts. But this is definitely gonna come back and bite them in the ass, the blacks. This little dispute between them, 110%. You know, there's just no way of getting around that shit at all, man. Rhaenyra learning that Helena is a dreamer is very important. It's very important because Helena being infatuated and living her life under the I forget which sister of Aegon's that was the dreamer, but living her life through her and wanting to be like her. And for Helena to be a dreamer is going to be interesting. You know, she sends Rhaenyra sends Alice away to her Harrenhal to go figure out what the fuck to do with Aemon, probably to kill him. And she's in side note, Alicent being okay to kill her son. She was doing okay. She's trying to protect her, and then she went back down. You know, but anyway, so her sending her away gives her plenty of time with Helena, and we'll see what Rhaenyra does with that, knowing that she knows that she's a dreamer. So that's something to keep an eye on. But at the very fucking end, you got Corlys, you know, talking to his little groups about to head their asses back because they know that King Landings is dire need of them. They get rolled up on Ormond's people, by Ormond's people, and oh my god, they start choking out Corlys, man. My heart sank to my ass. And I was like, please don't fucking do it. You know, we didn't see a body, so you know what that means. We don't see a body, that person's not dead. But that just means the homeboy finna get tortured, bro. He finna get fucking tortured. And I'm just like, oh, I can't do it. I think I'm gonna lose it. I think I'm gonna fucking lose it. I think I'm gonna lose it. But yeah, we'll just see how that shit go. But yeah, thank you for joining. I am Dwayne the Flyest Nerd, you know? And this is the Movie Dungeon. Peace.